you basically are hinting at some very big topics that are kind of in the middle of a societal tug of war right now. And
Mm.
whether that be pollution and toxicity, class warfare,
Yeah.
sexuality, mental health, I think that to give you the full spectrum of the question of what I'm kind of diving towards here. Like on one level, society I think is very very ready to have an open conversation about it. And like to give you a bizarre example, at Comic-Con, I just out of pure nostalgia and because I know there's a kind of a reboot on Netflix, I was like, I'm gonna go see the Voltron panel. That's kind of neat. Like like
Yeah.
and at Comic Con, people are like super excited about Voltron, and it's like wow, like
Yeah.
like really excited about Voltron, and that whole thing happened in their debut episode that one of the main five characters is revealed to be gay, and like people in the crowd were cheering, like straight up cheering,
Yeah.
and
Hell yeah.
yeah, and I mean like there were I. Going back even 5 or 6 years, I wonder if that would have had the same reaction. Even just 5 or 6 years, like
I
like
don't think it would have.
no, I don't think it would have.
We've
Now,
done a lot of work as a society to move forward in acceptance,
yeah,
and that's amazing to see that branches into Comic Con. And I think traditionally, I think comic fans were like this cliche, like white dude kid who like was kind of a nerd, but that's just not that way anymore. I think people have found their acceptance in comics, and in fact, a lot of people came out because of comics, because comics were the first place that they could really write stories about believable characters that were like them.
so I find it to be obviously on one level very encouraging, right? Because society wide, part and parcel of comic fans, but also society as a whole, inclusion and representation is kind of and being honest about certain things like this that were taboo or unacceptable or incorrectly thought to be wrong is becoming more acceptable, right? Like that's the worm is turning on that. However, and this leads to my question for you, there's a certain other contingent of society that is rising up quite angrily because they don't want that. And, it's nobody that we hang out with, right? Like, nobody you or I consider a friend are people like that, but,
Sure.
but they're there. They're there. There's quite a bit of them. And my question for you is, people going one way, world turning another. And what I have to ask you, and I know this is like massively esoteric, and like how do you weigh such a thing? But just as far as lights is concerned, and lights look at the world, I feel like it's a rubber band, right? We're being pulled in two different directions. Some people want to go back the way things were. Some people badly want to go forward. Where do you think it goes from here? Where do you think it goes from here after this point? Do you think that it gets better and more normal and not as shocking or surprising? Or
100%, it's going forward. It's moving forward, regardless of people stuck in another era's cries of dismay. They're going to be left behind. I think the reality is the world is achingly getting better one step at a time. And like I said, I think it's bringing the naysayers out of the woodwork for one last hurrah before they get lost in the dust. And art is going to be the leader in that. Comics, music, people who are guiding the younger generation in terms of their morality and their beliefs. I think that's leading the charge on changing things. And that's why we see it prevalent in comics now where it wouldn't have been years ago. But the reality of this all is the people who are the naysayers of forward motion are completely should be disallowed to have an opinion on something that isn't them, that isn't what they think. And let's talk about the LGBTQ community. If someone's against someone being gay, it drives me crazy. I have this conversation a lot. You cannot have an opinion on who someone else gets to love. You just aren't allowed. It doesn't mean you have to be gay, but you can't have an opinion on it. It's not an opinion thing. That's just love. And that was an interesting part about writing this story, because I didn't want to make a point of this character being bi. I didn't even know at the beginning of the story that it was really going to go that way. It was just the character fell in love, and that it's just a story of romance. Just like when people say there isn't such thing as gay marriage. It's just marriage. It's just love. It's just a storyline. It's a character. It's just another relationship in a comic. That's how it needs to be perceived as we move forward. and anyone who's against it is just literally has no right to say it because they have no. It's just something you can have an opinion on. I just think it's dumb. But all that to say, I think the world is getting better as much as it